Good evening, everyone. Today it's May 24th, Sunday. It's 9 minutes to 1 just right now, and obviously I'm in my car. I'm not driving at the moment, so I still record. So today I'm gonna go to Manchester to watch the last match day, last Premier League of the season. Also match day 38, which is Manchester City against Aston Villa, obviously at home ground Manchester Etihad Stadium. So before I bought the ticket, I actually anticipated Manchester City will be in the title race with Arsenal until the end of the season. However, as some of you might notice, following Manchester City's 1-1 away draw against Bournemouth, I think it's last Tuesday, Arsenal are crowned this season's Premier League champion after 22 years. That is before like YouTube, Facebook, all these were born. So in this case, it's a bit like different expectation, like in terms of reality wise, to watch this Premier League match, because Manchester City obviously will secure their runner-up in this season's Premier League. In terms of Aston Villa, though, well, they already secure a top 5 finish, knowing that they already won the UEFA Europa League last week as well. But where they stand in the final ranking will determine if they are extra like a UEFA Champions League spot for next season. So currently they are guaranteed 5 UEFA Champions League spot for next season. Not only Arsenal, Manchester City, Aston Villa, but also Manchester United and also Liverpool. If Aston Villa lost against Manchester City and Liverpool beat I think it's Brentford at home, well, by the way, there are all 10 matches of the match day will kick off at 4 p.m. local time, which is like around 3 hours from now. I drive to Manchester, that will be an hour-ish, and then probably head to the stadium as early as possible, although like Manchester City is not in the title race, but John Stones, England defender, is leaving. Bernardo Silva, Portuguese midfielder, is leaving, and also Spanish head coach Pep Guardiola is also leaving after the end of the season, which is obviously after this match. Okay, back to the final ranking. How important? Well, if Aston Villa finish 5th in the Premier League, then the UEFA Champions League extra spot, because given that Aston Villa won the Europa League, will be given to the 6th place in the Premier League, which currently it's now Bournemouth, which Bournemouth coincidentally draw against Manchester City last week to secure Arsenal the Premier League title. If Aston Villa 5th, then the 6th place will get Champions League spot, which means next season there could be up to 6 Premier League teams in next season's UEFA Champions League league phase, while we know guaranteed at least 5. Previous head-to-head Manchester City against Aston Villa, I forgot right now, but I will double check it and I will update you shortly. So for now, while I'm enjoying the aircon, because it's the dashboard says it's around 28 degrees Celsius, it's finally fucking summer right now here in the UK, late May. So hopefully the traffic will be alright, so I can secure a legal, hopefully free parking spot. Otherwise I have to pay. Then if you have to pay, then too bad. Anyway, so that's today, May 24th, Sunday afternoon, heading to Manchester to watch this season's final match day, Manchester City against Aston Villa at Etihad Stadium. Kickoff time at 4 p.m, which is consistent with all 9 remaining matches, 10 matches happening at the same time kickoff. So it's now less than 20 minutes to 3. I finally parked my car securely, legally, heading towards the Etihad Stadium. I somehow normally I don't really do an add-on on match program, but since this is the last match for Pep Guardiola after 10 seasons, after 10 seasons with Manchester City, I used, as you can see, £4 to buy this matchday program. Again, it's this season's final match day. Manchester City against Aston Villa at Etihad Stadium, kickoff time at 4 p.m, which is consistent with the other 9 matches, because of final match day, all 10 matches will kick off exactly simultaneously at 4 p.m. on the dot. It's now 11 minutes to 3. I have finally arrived at outside Etihad Stadium. It's around 10-minute walk from where I parked, and my gate entrance for this afternoon's match is T, as you can see. So during the walk, there are quite a lot of souvenirs where you can buy. I bought the £4 Matchday program. There are also Matchday a scarf and also some photo booth as well. I took a booth with John Stones, who is the England defender who will leave after today's match. And another player who will leave, it's Bernardo Silva, which you can see it's behind, between Erling Haaland, Rodri, and Ruben Diaz. From Portugal midfielder Bernardo Silva, it's also leaving alongside England defender John Stones, and of course the head coach from Spain, from Catalonia, Pep Guardiola. You would have noticed that I haven't actually had my lunch yet, so I'm quite hungry. I'm already sweating, so I'll quickly head inside to grab some food before I head to my seat to enjoy today's match. And here, as you can see, is the starting 11 for Manchester City. Those players who will leave, John Stones and Bernardo Silva, are in the starting 11. So for now, that's it for now. I will quickly head inside to the stadium to chill, grab some food and drink, and then to take my seat to prepare for today's match at 4 p.m. It's this season's final match day of Premier League. Manchester City against Aston Villa here at Etihad Stadium. We all know that Manchester City is already second. Aston Villa is in top 5. By the way, this is the substitutes for Manchester City as well. They probably will announce Aston Villa closer to the kickoff. Well, for Aston Villa, we know they are already in the top 5, guaranteed UEFA Champions League, not only in top 5, but also their UEFA Europa League champion. If they end up in 5th, then the 6th place Premier League team, as if for now, Bournemouth, will qualify for UEFA Champions League as well. And now they announced Aston Villa's starting 11 and substitute as well. So this is the food I got. It's the special of the match, honey chicken burger and also fries, which I grabbed from City Kitchen right over there. For drinks, I got myself alcoholic drink, a can of Guinness, right from the Asahi bar. You might notice at the beginning of the video, I do drive to Manchester. Well, if you drink, don't drive. By the time I finish drinking, it should be the alcohol level should have gone. I mean, it's 4.2% for Guinness, but the match should end by around 6 p.m, which is 2-ish hours. 2-ish hours. My alcohol level in the body should have gone pretty much. So I am not worried that drinking a pint of Guinness will affect my driving after the match. So after my food and drink, after to the toilet, in around 20 minutes to kick off, I finally arrived at my seat for this afternoon. It's block 326, row 2, seat 732. So as you can see, it's relatively quite middle to the stadium, which is obviously not too high. As you can see right now, final training, the home team Manchester City on my left, away team Aston Villa on my right. Again, the match will kick off at 4 p.m. simultaneously with other 9 matches for this final match day of the Premier League. Manchester City against Aston Villa, as you can see here live from Etihad Stadium on today, May 24th, Sunday. Again, we all know Manchester City secure the second, whereas Aston Villa secure top 5. Both teams already qualified for UEFA Champions League phase next season, in addition to Aston Villa winning the previous Europa League last week. Because we all know that Arsenal already clinched the Premier League title after 22 years. So Manchester City has to be second, and if Aston Villa eventually is in the 5th place, then the 6th place Premier League team, as of for now, Bournemouth, will qualify for the UEFA Champions League phase next season. So we will see what happens in around 20 minutes for this season, final match day of Premier League. All 10 matches, including this match, Manchester City against Aston Villa at Etihad Stadium, simultaneously kick off at 4 p.m. on the dot.
Ollie Watkins. 16, 21, Bournemouth Police. 22, Ian Martin. 26, Larry Bogan. 31, Leon Bailey. And now, for the final time this season, it's time to find out today's team for our boys in blue, Manchester City! In goal, number 1, James Trafford. Number 82, Rico Lewis. Our number 5, one final time, John. Our number 3, Ruben Diaz. Number 6, Nathan Ake. Number 14, Nico Gonzalez. Number 20, for one last time, Bernard. Number 4, Tijani Reinders. Number 47, one of our own, Phil Foden. Number 26, Semenyo. And our number 42, Antoine Semenyo. And for one final time, the best manager in the land,
just now they announced the starting 11, obviously from the away team Aston Villa and the home team Manchester City.
and FA Cup winners, Manchester City!
As you can see from the TiVo, on the left it's John Stones, England defender, middle is Pep Guardiola, the Spanish or Catalan head coach, and the right hand side is the Portuguese midfielder Bernardo Silva, who these two players plus one manager will leave Manchester City at the end of the season, which is after today's match against Aston Villa, especially with Pep Guardiola, who coaches Manchester City for exactly 10 seasons. That is from 2016-2017 season to this season, 2025 to 2026, exactly 10 seasons, exactly a decade.
Joining today's mascots on the pitch right now are our team photo participants. We've all chance to walk out onto the pitch and line up with the team become a junior citizens member at mancity.com/memberships.
So the first half has just begun at 4 p.m. on the dot. The home team, Manchester City, with light blue from left to right. The away team with, I believe, dark red, brown-ish. Away team, Aston Villa, from right to left. You would have noticed there are 5 dots for both teams, Manchester City and Aston Villa. That means both teams were allowed up to 5 substitutions unless there is a concussion incident where both teams will be awarded an extra substitution. But basically, it's maximum of 5 substitutions can be made per game.
Goal City score by number 42, Antoine
Semenyo! Manchester City, Antoine Semenyo scored the lead. So it's now Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 0. And you might wonder why there's already such a water break around like 25 minutes into the game. That is because of the current heat wave. So the definition of heat wave in UK varies across the country. At least locally here in Manchester, well, the basic definition is if it's consecutively 3 days above the threshold. For Manchester, that is 25 degrees Celsius, and I think right now it's above 25 degrees Celsius. So to protect safety of the players from Manchester City and Aston Villa, I think the referee decided to give an early water break, which there should be water break consistent as the 9 other remaining matches which will both kick off at 4 p.m. It should have kicked off already. So it's now Manchester City 1, Liverpool, not Liverpool, I mean Aston Villa 0. I will go check Liverpool's score, but I do believe, if I'm correct, it's Liverpool 0, Brentford 0, which means that, well, because Aston Villa before the match, it's 3 points ahead of Liverpool. So that means right now, even though Aston Villa is technically losing, it's still Aston Villa 4th, Liverpool in the 5th place. So a quick recap: Antoine Semenyo scored the lead in the 6-yard box. So it's now Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 0. By the way, if you can actually recognize, I'm actually sitting on the second row above the broadcast section. So on my left over there, is from right over there to the left, it's the broadcast section. And as you can see, the person with the blue and red mic is actually from Sky Sports. That means I'm actually like that close to the Sky Sports football live broadcast. Semenyo! Semenyo! Oh! So halftime has just ended. Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 0. It's quite obvious, like the overall of the first half. It's Manchester City I mean, they have more incentive because they have 2 players and their manager will be leaving after today's match. Whereas Aston Villa, they already secure top 5 and finish for next season UEFA Champions League phase, and they already won UEFA Europa League against Freiburg last week. So today's match doesn't really matter for Aston Villa. It's a matter of like 4th, or be it like being 4th or 5th. Well, for other teams, the 6th place team, currently Bournemouth, they will need to depend on if Aston Villa drop to 5th, then they can play UEFA Champions League league phase. Otherwise, it will be Europa League phase. But overall, it's quite, I would say, a one-sided kind of expected, as you can guess. So it's first half of the final match day of Premier League. Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 0 at Etihad Stadium, scored by Antoine Semenyo.
Or throwing objects at people and the pitch is a criminal offence. May result in automatic. Well done.
It's now 5 minutes past 5. Both teams swap side as you kind of expected. Away team, the dark red brown is Aston Villa from left to right. The home team, light blue shirt.
Saw the number 16 Andres Garcia replaced by number 2 Matthias.
Okay, as you can see, Manchester City light blue home team from right to left, and Manchester City did not make any substitution, whereas Aston Villa made a substitution. Andreas Garcia is substituted by Matty Cash. And it's worth noting that, as you can see, Aston Villa, the substitution, they got 4 more substitution, but technically they can do in 3 more times, because half-time substitution does not count as 1 time. It only counts when it's like during the match, during the first half or the second half. Half-time substitution does not count. So technically, in Premier League at least, you are allowed to make 5 substitution in 3 occasions. That means halftime does not count as an occasion. It only counts during either halftime. Well, as I just recorded, as you can see, Ollie Watkins scored the equalizer. So it's Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 1.
Aston Villa scored by number 11, Ollie Watkins.
As obviously it's kind of biased because the announcer is from obviously in home ground Manchester City. Of course, he will announce Aston Villa ones in a more dead voice, whereas for Manchester City it's more of an engaging voice, you know. But similarly, Ollie Watkins scored a goal inside the 6-yard box, just like the opener by Antoine Semenyo. However, VAR is checking if there's a possible handball during the attacking phase. And the referee cleared the VAR, and it's Ollie Watkins did not commit a handball during the attacking process prior to scoring the equalizer inside the 6-yard box. So Aston Villa, the goal stand. So it's now Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 1.
Aston Villa scored by number 11, Ollie, Watkins.
So what happened just now is Ollie Watkins scored a brace. Eventually, the linesman put his offside flag up, but the VAR, as a video assistant referee, checked and determined Ollie Watkins was not in the offside position prior to the goal. So the VAR notified the referee, and the referee changed the decision from offside no goal to offside goal, which means with Ollie Watkins brace, Manchester City now became behind, whereas Aston Villa came from behind to the lead. So it's Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 2. Shoot! Oh! It's around midway through the second half, and the referee decided another round of water break, probably because of the current heat wave in the UK. So before the second half of water break, Manchester City made 2 substitutions. So Mateo Kovacic came on for Bernardo Silva, and also Ryan Cherky came on for Antoine Semenyo. So Manchester City, 3 more substitutions could be used to go.
Goal, the City scored by number 47,
Okay, so Phil Foden scored the equaliser inside the penalty area, but VAR is checking if there is an offside or not prior to the attacking phase. Well, originally the linesman did not put the offside flag up, but VAR checked, intervened and told the referee, so apparently followed, so Phil Foden's equaliser became disallowed. So as it stands, it's Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 2.
Always, we really appreciate your unwavering and faithful support of the team. On behalf of all players, the manager, and staff here at Manchester City, thank you for your brilliant, loud and loyal support as always. So all fans are encouraged to stay behind now after the game The special end of season celebration where we'll say farewell to club legends Bernardo Silva and John Stones, as well as to say thank you to the greatest manager in our history, Pep Guardiola.
So, full-time score has ended. It's Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 2. How do I feel about today's match? Well, I thought like Manchester City, as mentioned earlier in the video, would have been still in the title race with Arsenal, but as you know, Arsenal already Premier League champions, so that means the expectation is kind of low. But then before the match, Pep also announced he will be leaving the club after 10 exact seasons. That's a decade of season. So it's kind of a bit of a sadness because how, like, even though you might not be supporting Manchester City, but Pep Guardiola, he kind of revolutionized the England football to a certain extent. Whereas actually second half, Aston Villa do play better than Manchester City. That's why Ollie Watkins scored a brace from behind to the lead to the win eventually. And also when Bernardo Silva and John Stones were substituted, like those two players will be leaving as well when they were substituted. Both Manchester City and Aston Villa players, coaches and staff.
Men's, women's and academy teams this season. The City Parade starts from 4 p.m. in the Northern Quarter, with buses travelling through Ancoats, Ashton Road, and finishing right here at Etihad Stadium. Fans can also join us for the after party at Court Live from 3 p.m. for a special event featuring the ultimate player welcome, live music, entertainment and special guests. So sure to be an evening to remember. Tickets for the after party at Court Live are available from £12 for adults, £6 for under 18s, and also VIP packages are available. Visit mancitytickets.com.
So Manchester
Or
City,
you can scan the QR code that's on the screen right now.
Aston Villa players, coaches and other staff lined up on both sides to congratulate their departure. That is a quite wholesome moment for Manchester City and Aston Villa players. So all matches should have been concluded by now. It's 5 minutes past 6 at the time of recording. As expected, as unchanged, Manchester City were runner-up of the league, whereas Aston Villa secure the 4th place, which means it is confirmed there will be 5 Premier League teams in next season's UEFA Champions League phase, whereas the 6th place team in the Premier League, as confirmed, it's Bournemouth, who drew away at Nottingham Forest, will play for next season's UEFA Europa League phase. It's like, despite the loss of Manchester City, everything was alright. Well, despite also the M62 traffic to Manchester, because probably there is a traffic accident which kind of slowed down part of the motorway from 70 miles per hour to 40 miles per hour for, I think, like almost half an hour. But at least the weather is good. I found a free, legal, some sort of place to park. The food, burger and chips were great. Drink a pint of Guinness. It's good for this scorching weather. Scorching as in it's actually a heat wave as defined by the UK. And also where I sat today through gate T, it's block 326, row 2, seat 732. It's actually just two rows above the broadcasting section. So the view from here, central Longside upper, it's actually quite brilliant. So that's a wrap on today, this afternoon, May 24th. 4th Sunday for this season, last match day of Premier League. Manchester City against Aston Villa at Etihad Stadium. Antoine Semenyo for Manchester City scored the lead, whereas Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa scored a brace from behind to equalise and then eventually the lead, the win. Manchester City second of the table, Aston Villa fourth of the table. Considering Aston Villa were this season UEFA Europa League champion, that extra Champions League spot will not give to another Premier team because Aston Villa fourth place. It will be, therefore the sixth place team, Bournemouth, will play for UEFA Europa League next season instead. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the video by not only give a like to this video and also subscribe to this channel and follow my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat and Twitter so you guys won't miss out my any other content, and I will see you guys in the next video. I do not live in Manchester and I need to find some place for dinner to escape the Manchester traffic. As mentioned, there are 60,332 spectators, so as you can expect, the traffic in Manchester will be quite shit, although you already know it's also quite shit. So I will leave the stadium shortly and I will see you guys in the next video. And last but not least, in English, Portuguese, Spanish and Catalan respectively, thank you John Stones, obrigado Bernardo Silva, gracias, Pep Guardiola.